President Yoon Suk Yeol is expected to continue his global engagements this year as part of his aim to turn Korea into a global pivotal state. Among the key agendas is enhancing nuclear-based deterrence to counter North Korean threats. Our presidential office correspondent Oh Soo-young has more.
South Korea's diplomacy in 2024 will focus on building up minilateral networks, small coalitions of like-minded countries, to overcome risks to national and economic security. First, tackling North Korea's growing nuclear threat, President Yoon Suk Yeol will continue building up Seoul's security ties with the United States, adding an unprecedented nuclear dimension. After launching a new bilateral Nuclear Consultative Group last year, the allies are expected to produce nuclear response guidelines by June, to prepare for a possible nuclear provocation by Pyongyang, as well as launch nuclear response drills in their annual joint military training. On a trilateral basis with Japan, based on their Camp David summit last August, Yoon will continue efforts to ramp up military cooperation against North Korea's threats and broader joint initiatives for peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific. Next, on economic security, Yoon will strive to expand South Korea's export markets, striking up new trade deals and partnerships to secure supply chains of materials that are critical to future industries like semiconductors, secondary batteries, defense and digital solutions. However, external factors could pose challenges for Seoul. First, the US presidential race in November has caused concern among its allies that the possible return of Donald Trump could once again undermine America's global security commitments, from South Korea and Japan's trilateral cooperation with Washington to Ukraine and NATO countries. Also, ongoing US-China tensions, wars in Ukraine and the Middle East, and the continued rise of nationalism could further hinder global trade and cooperation to address shared challenges like climate change, the social impact of digital technology, and the development of the global South.
If and when Trump comes back to the White House, there will be a great need for other countries, the current allies of the United States, to work together even more closely. So these are all the actions being taken, efforts being made by all players around the world, with the possible new face of the United States government in mind. And so it's really critical for Korea to strengthening its cooperation with these kind of key allies, going beyond the traditional allies like Japan and the United States.
Thus, through his summitry last year, Yoon called for global solidarity and a rules-based world order, pledging Seoul's contributive diplomacy to strengthen cooperation for freedom, peace and prosperity. He's also expanded South Korea's minilateral networks of partners for defense cooperation and technological development. In 2024, South Korea will host the third Summit for Democracy, first initiated by President Joe Biden, to address threats to freedom, the rule of law and human rights across societies, along with 2 follow-up summits on the safe development of artificial intelligence. The country has also begun its 2-year term as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. Sensing an opportunity amid crises to expand its role in the world as a crucial security and economic partner, Seoul will continue its efforts to become a global pivotal state. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.